Hello, sir. Welcome to Coding Club RVCE. Myself, Apurv. Today, I will be interviewing you. So, sir, just can you give us a short introduction about who you are, or so that we can know what detail about your profile?
Sure. Hey, Apurv, thanks for inviting me. So, let me give a brief about me. So, as you told, I'm Apurv. I work as a computer scientist 2, which is SDE4 at Adobe. I have more than 7.5 years of experience and in building large scale with front-end applications. I teach people, so I do tech talks and I do live webinars and stuff. I love teaching. And yeah, that's a brief introduction about me.
Uh, Yes, sir. So first of all, I would like to go. So current market scenario for IT, I think it's a bit of on and off. So like as a student preparing for job market, what advice give us on developing our skills to meet companies or Adobe's expectation for front end engineering or any engineering role? That how would you for a general first year or second year grad?
Sure. Yeah, so for any company like not just Adobe, but any product-based companies, just like Adobe and other companies. So what I would give in general advice is that focus on data structures and algorithm. Okay, that is very important. Uh, you have to know that in order to clear the interviews, definitely. And apart from that, you should also have the development knowledge. Have as many internship as you can, because as of now, it's not like earlier when I used to do internship and I joined Infosys as a fresher. Not much was expected from me at the starting. Okay, I was trained properly and then we were deployed to the clients and stuff. Nowadays, even a fresher on day one is expected to have knowledge about how to develop a production ready application, how to debug it, right from setting up the code in local
Yeah,
on the local with multiple services to deployment to everything is
yeah,
expected. So you should do as many internship as you can before you go for your final recruitment of your job, so that you get these kind of skills and develop projects. Okay, if you're targeting for front end, then definitely you should create a portfolio website in which you can add all the projects that you have done. The projects in number should not be more; it can be just two to three, but those would be very good 2 to 3 projects which you can ask your friends to use. At least have like 10-15 users of that project. Okay,
okay, okay.
so that you can tell that to your while you're interview that okay, this is the product that I have created and that these are the users and the actual data, not just seed database data.
Okay.
So that's what I would say.
Also, sir, I would like to know, since you're a front-end engineer, what are the specific areas of front-end engineer that Adobe prioritizes for recent graduate hiring process? Like, what are the things that Adobe thinks, okay, these are the minimum parameters a student must know for an, say, SD or a front-end engineer?
No. So I would first mention one point. Adobe and companies like Adobe do not hire from all institutes. They hire from like NITs and IITs. Just FIH, who don't have, so students don't have any wrong information that okay, you can
Yeah.
apply via referral and get the interview. So you at least you need to have 1 or 2 experience if you 2 years of experience if you want to apply.
Works.
Second thing is what kind of things. So if they are hiring freshers, again from the institute that they hire from, they will be looking for general DSA, DBMS, operating system, and those kind of concepts. They don't look for any front end or back end thing when they are hiring freshers. They will hire them based on their skill set. They will give them the projects. Okay, or based on the requirements of projects, they will train them and they will ask them to learn that technology and then train them. But if you have a year or a 2 year of experience, then if you are going for a front end role, then again DSA will be there.
Yep.
Then you have to will around for JavaScript. So I will do very good in Java fundamentals. They will be around for React. Currently, most of the Adobe products are on React. So it will be React round will be there, and there will be engineering manager round where they will ask you based on your experience, what have you learned, what are the obstacles you have tackled, what are your day-to-day responsibilities, those kind of things. So yeah, these are the different kind of rounds that you can expect for 1 or 2 years experience.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, also, since you are now at a senior position, if I, as a new graduate, came for you to a referral, like, okay, there are some opening where, say, Adobe is taking from, like, say, freshers. And if I'm the person who wants to apply, then what are the qualities you see in my resume so that you consider them giving a referral, which I think is the most integral part of getting a off campus in product based companies.
Got it. So in general, so I get a lot of requests for reference. So I have actually made a template. So I just send it to everyone. So basically, what I look for is I don't. It doesn't matter what kind of resume it is, because what you have done is what you have done. If it's just a plain resume, white paper on black ink, that's fine. I don't even need a photo or anything. What you should have a portfolio website if you're applying for front-end position. Okay, so that I can check your projects. You at least you should link your
Yep.
GitHub so I can check if you have done any open source contribution or whatever. Your own repos are there, which are publicly
Okay.
available. I can check how you code and stuff. And if you have done something like your computer programming or something like that, or anything technical outside of your curriculum, if you mention that, yeah, so those is what I look for, because there are lots of people applying. What,
Yeah.
how unique are you, and what extra have you done so that you get the reference?
Also, sir, I would like to know what about system design? Like currently, system design is in trend. Like all the freshers are getting questions about system design. So, how detailed and how much you think system design is important for nowadays, along with DSA plus development?
I would say it should be a bit low priority compared to DS and development,
Sure.
because as a fresher, I would not expect you to have a system design knowledge. Yeah, it might be getting asked, okay, because currently market is as such that they want engineers who know everything, and so a fresher might be asked for that. But from what I understand, even if you are good in your DSA, if you are good in your development part, and you lack a bit in the system design, it should be fine as a fresher, not as a 1 or 2 year experience. As a fresher, it should be fine.
Uh,
But if you can prioritize, if you have the bandwidth to do it, definitely you should learn about system design. So you should be, and don't directly jump into the system design of the Netflix or something like that. Try to understand what is load balancing, what are the different databases, what are the different, let's say, AWS services, and what are the different architecture patterns, when to use microservices, when to use monolith. So those basics is what I would say
yeah.
to
Okay.
learn.
Sir, also I would like to know what are the common mistakes or the misconception that recent graduate have when they are applying for any role or for any new position in product-based companies. I would like to know.
One I hear is that competitive programming is mandatory in order to crack interviews. It is not mandatory. It definitely helps. That is for sure. But it is not mandatory. Okay. So if you have solved good enough problems and good enough variety of problems, okay,
Yeah.
and prepared for interviews well, okay, because it's not just about knowing how to solve a problem. You have to solve it within a given 40 to 45 minutes. Okay. You have to solve at least 2 lead code medium problems into 40 to 45 minutes of an
Yeah.
interview, with a clear explanation, with a clean code, with all the edge cases and space and time complexity. So those, that practice is important, but that's this misconception that competitive program is required is what I would say is not correct. It helps if you are doing it. It definitely helps. If you are doing it out of your own interest, do it, but it is not mandatory.
Also, sir, what are the impact if I'm applying for Adobe and I am using the Adobe products, or if I am the person who is users of product? Does it help in getting your interviews cracked easily? Means if you are already we know the products.
No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't.
Works. Also, sir, what I would like to know means how does Adobe support professional growth and development in the recent graduates who join company? Like how is their growth helpful
Mm,
as a
got it.
company?
Got it. So you are uh, taught how exactly a project's life cycle happens from the beginning to the end. It's totally up to your interest how much you ask your seniors, how much you ask your architect, how much you ask your manager to get involved in all those things. They might
Yeah,
not involve you in all the architectural meetings and stuff, but they will definitely give you MOMs of that, minutes of meeting, that what happened, what not. Okay. So, but if you are curious enough, you can know exactly how a big company like Adobe
mm,
ships products on
yeah,
the global scale. Okay,
yeah.
without any outages or minimum outages, whatever say,
Means
so that it is very good opportunity. And apart from that, also you get your all employees, not just freshers, all employees get professional fund, so you can go to
yeah,
conferences. I have gone to React Goa. through the contract, through my professional thing, and yeah, so they do help you a lot. We have
So
LinkedIn
sir,
Learning, we have O'Reilly and all those stuff if you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
learn.
makes sense. Makes sense. Sir, also we would like to know if I how to increase our network with Adobe employees or the recruiters, so our chances of getting into such companies might increase, or we could have a good impact on the interviewing person who is interviewing for us. Networking,
Got it,
how does it help, or how
got
we
it.
can improve it? Like one is, I think, code in public. That is one of the now recent trends where whatever you're doing, you just post it on Twitter, where some recruiters might look into your work and have appreciate. So what are the other ways that you would like to know, like unconventional ways?
Got it, got it. So what, as you mentioned, create content on LinkedIn, because as and when the recruiter reaches your profile, if
Yeah.
reaches your profile, it should
Yeah.
not be empty, or it should not be just random posts.
Okay.
You should have a good content of your technical knowledge that you have shared in your LinkedIn, so that or some achievements that you have done. You have got some good rank in your uh, competitive program if you are doing that, or if you have created a project, if
Yeah.
you have done open source contribution.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can mention about that in your LinkedIn post. And that is about content when the recruiter reaches to
Yeah.
eventually reaches your profile. Now, how to make them reach, that is a bit tricky. So one suggestion that I would like give everyone is that reach out to the like go to the company page of your LinkedIn.
Yes.
So and then search for people tab. In
Yeah.
that you will see lots of recruiters out there.
Yeah.
You can directly reach out to them. If you have a job in job link, you can share that
Yeah.
link. Share a resume, downloadable resume link.
Yeah.
Share your portfolio link, and you can ask them that I would like to apply for this question. If
Sir, also, I would like to
anyway,
know, since we are building some web projects, or generally students build web projects for their projects. So I would like to know how those projects, we can make them projects stand out from the rest. Because say I'm making a to-do application or general application, what I can do as a, so that a recruiter might get impressed even with the simple technology where I can go in detail. How would you like? What is your take? How pressure should go with it?
got it. So whatever project you make, don't make clones. Okay, I
Okay.
see lots of UI clones. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone in their resume have their UI clones. Netflix clone,
Okay.
Uber clone, Facebook clone. Don't make clones is one thing. Uh, Basically, you make the same application, but don't say Facebook clone. You
Okay.
you make a say tell it as a social media. Use
Okay.
different CSS. Okay, but just it should be like you created something on your own. You didn't just go to YouTube and copied the code, or go to the GitHub and copied the code and just told it that it's your project. And you should
Yeah.
know in and out of your project. So
Yeah.
basically, whatever project you create in its GitHub README, you should
Mm.
clearly tell what is the architecture of it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, what are the different component patterns you have used in your front end if you're using React? What component
Yeah.
products patterns you have used? What library you have used? Is it accessible? Basically,
Okay.
accessibility is taken care of or not?
Yes.
Those
How
kind of things you should
scalable is the
mention.
application?
How scalable is the application if you're using
Yeah.
backend thing? Yeah, definitely. Those kind of things you should mention.
Yeah, means you're saying that readme files, putting readme files or putting such good how a professional code looks like, it helps more for recruiters to attract you. Also, sir,
Write
now,
clean code. Yeah.
yeah, sure, sure. Also, now we are seeing there is a trend in AI, like all people are doing some AI projects and all. So, how would you have a look on it? Like, not in as a job perspective, but as a perspective of a developer, how much we need to learn AI, or as a new developer, how much we should learn the things.
My suggestion would be opposite. Stay away from AI, because as of now, if you start taking help of AI, let's say Code GPT or basically GitHub Copilot, whatever,
Uh,
then you are just copy pasting code. Okay,
Sir, no, not like
and
that. I am asking in a sense of AI projects. We are making some AI things, like say we are using some model, training our own models or something like that. Like people who are doing
yeah,
projects
if
on
you're
small.
doing that, if you're doing it out of interest, do it. Don't do it because everyone is doing it.
Okay,
If it interests you, and if you can create a good project out of it, definitely do
okay, okay. I
it.
think, yeah. Also, sir, we would like to know how was your experience, as how your professional journey was from your initial job base one to the finally now where you're at a very respectable position. Like how it was. Like we would like to know.
Sure. So I started with Infosys. So I had
Yeah.
college placement in Infosys. So I did my internship over there, where my training happened. So they trained very well. So I would say Infosys training is best in world. So
Okay.
they trained really very well. Then I was given a chance to interview for the Cisco client in Infosys, so which I cleared, and then I was working for Cisco, and I was there for 4 years in Infosys, and then I moved to use Systic, which
Okay.
was again a service based company, but the client now was a Whatfix, which is startup. This
Okay.
time now I had experience of working with the startup, so everything happens fast paced, and this time I had to set up the entire application on my local. They gave Linux laptops, and I had to
Okay. Okay.
run all the services locally. There was no endpoints, service endpoints. I have to learn everything locally.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a different uh, way of working, and everything needed to be fast. So you don't optimize for work-life balance. You optimize. You have to deliver this feature no matter what.
Okay.
So that's what I experienced there. Then I was in Walmart. The Walmart again, my team was very fast paced, and it was similar experience like a startup. And again, but there I got to learn end to end things. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
till now I was only doing about front end stuff. Now I got to learn end to end things. How exactly a project is deployed, where my JavaScript application is to be deployed, how it different bundles are going to get served, Dockers, Kubernetes, and all those different things, or pods,
Yeah.
and different things that I was not earlier aware of or never used to do. Now I was able to understand end-to-end project
Yeah.
deployment lifecycle.
Yeah.
Then I moved to Adobe. Yeah,
Yeah.
completely different new learnings is that every project product of Adobe is localized, meaning if you
Okay.
go to China, you can have read it in their languages, Mandarin. You go to Japan, you can read it in Japan.
Japanese.
It is translated easily, and you can check. Basically, it's very much localized, and not just the languages, left to
Okay.
right to left also, because most of the countries are left to right, but there are
Yeah.
some Arabic countries we need read and left right from left right to
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is also taken care of.
Okay.
So lots of things which is like scale on front end is what I would say.
Okay.
Usually people talk about scale on back end. This is scale on front end.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and accessibility. Most of the products are accessible via keyboard, touch mouse, and
Yeah.
voice overs. So it's good to learn all these things.
Also, sir, there are various new fields coming up in the market. Say DevOps engineer, or we can say cloud infrastructure engineer, or software engineer, like SDE is the common role. So I would like to know how their role differs from an SD role or as a developer role. How their role differs, like Docker engineer, we can say DevOps engineer or cloud engineer. Like how their role is different from other people's.
So, so I, from what my understanding is that they take care of the deployment part, mm, the cloud part. So basically, usually now everyone wants to go public cloud.
Yeah.
Don't one wants to deploy on their own data centers.
Yeah.
One, there is it is cheap, and second, there are good. They maintain everything, and the uptime is good. They guarantee the uptime of
Yeah.
your services, so it's good. So for this, we need specialized people who have specialized training. So
Okay. Okay.
let's say for AWS, we think you should have AWS certification so that they know in and out of how to operate with AWS services. That's the same for Azure, and there's same for GCP. So it's not like us engineer who can do development and the architecture and lead and all those stuff, and also take care of the deployment stuff, because deployment has become a bit more time consuming. It has its own way of doing it. So now companies are hiring specialized role who will take care of all those part of your Docker containers, of your pods, of your Kubernetes deployment,
Yeah.
and all those stuff. And yeah, that's what it is.
Also, sir, like one of the major question is I have heard from many people saying, okay, when you don't know a technology, instead of mastering it, you should start building a project. So, since we build projects which are locally made, but when we go to production level code, I think there is whole new game on a whole new level. So, uh, do we means as a newbie, how do I learn such to build such codes? Like, if I want to excel in the companies, or if I'm once I'm joining, how is our experience? Like, how would you guide through it?
Hmm. So for that, I would say find a couple of open source repo.
Okay.
Just for example, I would say go to React.js. It's an open source code. Try to download it locally.
Yeah.
Try to set it up. Try to run it.
Okay. Okay.
This is exactly what you'll have to do in your job. Okay.
Okay.
It will be similar complexity.
Yeah.
Okay. And try to navigate via the code. If you have questions, go to the community, ask them.
Yeah.
So this is how you would be ready for.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, sir. Thank you for today. Like we have almost got all the basic. What are the new people have the doubts in the people minds of the new graduates? I think most of them are clear. Very much. Thank you, sir, for joining this meeting. It was really great pleasure to um, host you. So very much thank you, sir. Thank you from Coding Club. I wish my regards from all the Coding Club members, also from all the people from RVCs. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Coding Club.